Hey, welcome back YouTube, this is Kai. We're back with another video, and this is kind of like the back-to-back deck profile. I made the Malice deck profile yesterday, and today I'm back here with another deck profile. This time I'm not going to do a I would say the most competitive deck profile or the most eye-catching decks. So today I'm going to be doing, it was the top decks back in, I forgot when, but it is now has been like, it's out of the limelight. It's no longer that the capturing, and it's still one of my favorite decks of all time, and it is Eldlich. And if you guys don't know, Eldlich has reprint as the tactical tri-decks and also have several supports like for 2 to 3 boosters straight, and the support is not that strong maybe in the public eye, but it is relevant and it is what the deck needs after like so long. I've been playing the deck for so long. If you guys watch me for like back in the days post-COVID, so you guys know I'm really like this deck. So with the support just came out, some people even ask me if I ever play back these decks. My answer is no. I will never play back these decks, because if I played it back, I will be like stick to the floodgates. I will like play stun for like the rest of my 2025 career. So I'm gonna use this deck as a casuals, or even like friends or players that comes to the locals and wanted to test decks. So I'm not gonna use like the tier 1 decks like Maris or Rizos to test that with them. I'm gonna test with something like more relevant, like more mediocre, yet it has its potential. So it's gonna be Eldlich. So without further ado, let's go into the profile. So starting off, we're not gonna be mentioning my best boys. Eldlich the Golden Lord. If it's a crime to not playing 3 copies of the Golden Lords, especially we have cards like Bestials, Dominus Pulse, a lot of things to prevent this from coming out on the field. So you must play 3. And Call by the Grave, yes. Because if you're playing a stun deck, people will know that Call by the Grave is not really that gonna do much, especially like in game 1, people don't know that you don't play hand traps. If they go first, they're gonna set their Call by the Grave. So what you would know is if you didn't throw any hand traps, their back row is either Call by the Grave or impermanent. So if you use these effects to ditch this, if your opponent have a back row response, it's gotta be Call by the Grave. So that's why you have to play 3. You have to make sure it is always in your view. Even the effect is negative, it's fine. You just want the bodies to be there. So that's why you have to play 3. And the next monster is probably one of the annoying monsters. It's called the Inspect Borders. Inspect Borders, in my opinion, is that you need this because it has the pressure and the ability to prevent your opponents from doing a lot, so they can pass back the turn for you by not thinking too much. And yes, it does sometimes crash with the Golden Lord for the graveyard effects or the hand effects, but it doesn't really that matter, because you have this, you throw the questions back to your opponents, force your opponents to make SPs to clear it, and by doing so, you have this to clear out as your follow-ups. So I only play 2, not 3, because you can't summon this if you're during the late games, like you have plenty of bodies. You don't want to see this. Like you want to see turn 1, turn 2. You want to see like late games, especially you're in the grind game. So that's why I play this. That's all for the monsters I play. Even in art, this is how the monster card I play. Not much, no more. You want to see extender stuff, like grind stuff, those kind of things. And for the spells, I play the Black Research. This should be the White Awakening. White and white, white and blacks. But I couldn't find my white, so I just played this, because this is something again with this as well. You summon this, you activate this, it's gonna live, so you're gonna need it.
Hello， Giant 在哪里吗
哪一个
？Giant
Giant 啊 ？Giant 没有了
这里哦没有了啊。
啊，它是在这边底楼啊 ground floor 的，可是它换成别的店去了，你们可以去看看的。
哦。
那个啊，Watson 前面就是了。啊，它已经不
变成2块钱店了。
啊，变成先间了，对。是。3 Cursed Outland, glad this card back to 3. And yes, I'm still mad at it because he didn't have the elixir name or the golden land names, but you still need the 3 because this helps you search. And also another ash bait targets. You have a lot of things that bait ash, this bait ash, that bait ash, and then you have this. This is guaranteed search, so why not? And 1 and 1, I don't like playing this in 2 now, in my opinion, because like after you drew this, you don't want to draw another one because you want to like have something else. And also the extra deck now is kind of important because you have ways to utilize the extra decks as well. So I'm not going to play a lot of this, but I do wanted to play this, so I played the 1 and 1. If your opponent decided to ash this, if I have this, you can dig more, because if you begin a main phase, if your opponent ash this, then you'll know he won't be ashing anymore. So a lot of these things are gonna be live. So I played the 1/1 just because it's like more choices, better than you're opening 2 of these, your opponent ashes the 1 of this, and then the other one is just gonna dead in your hand. And if your Eldlich discard something that, or send as cost something that is not these, then your opponent probably know like, oh, he's sending this, he's used this as a cost, so his hand will probably have nothing that is much worth to discard. So it's gonna be like exposed in my opinion. So that's why I played the 1/1. And the next best card of the deck, I forgot the English name, it's gotta be called, I'm gonna call it Triangle anyway. So if you guys don't know what this card does, it's a few spell. When this card is activated resolves, you can send a level 5 or higher undead monster from deck to the grave. So this is the one that you're gonna send. And if you have a undead monster on the field, you can activate its effects. You can summon a level 5 token. These are level 5 tokens. Yes, if the field have undead monsters, you can do its effects. You can summon a level 5 undead token from your field, attack defense 0. It says if there's a undead zombie monsters on the field, including your opponent's field. If your opponent's field somehow have the zombie monsters, you get a special number of tokens. And the third effect is, if this card is in your graveyard and you have a zombie monster is added to the hand, this card is added to the hand as well in the graveyard. So if this card is in the graveyards, your Eldlich send something, add back to hand, summon, this card triggers, add back to your hand, it's another fodder. So this card does 3 things: a Foolish Burials, a Rite of Armisias, and also a Return of the Warriors, whichever it is. So the summon token is important as well, because the summon token is level 5. You can use the tokens to go like Chaos Angels, like Wing Spiders, for SPs, a lot of things. And one of Terraforming to search it out. So yeah, this is one of the good cards. Glad this is in commons. I thought it was gonna be foil because it's just too good to be troll. And of course, we're playing the full spell and trap decks. 3 reasonings. You need to mill. You just want to mill. Mill any of these is fine because they're gonna float anyway. And that's all the spells for the traps: Sanguine, Conquistador, Aquero, and Forever Golden Land. These are the bread and butters. There's no reason why you shouldn't play it. I want to play 3, but it's just 40 cards are too much. I want to play 3. If I couldn't, I want to play 3, but I have spot for something else. And that something else is the new card. It's called I forgot the name. It has the name Golden Land and Elixir. So it has a double wording. You can use the Golden Lands to search this. You can use the Elixirs to set this. And this card has 2 effects. Each effect is paid 800 life points, which is more life reduction. That is not really good in my opinion, but you still need to play it, a price to pay. And the effects is once per turn, you pay 800 life points. You choose either once. You can this card becomes a monster, and the most summon monsters, and level 10. And if you have Eldlich on the field, you can bounce one monster back to the hand. You can bounce your own monsters as well, but there's no reason for you to do that. And the second one is you can target one Golden Land or Elixir spell trap from your banish and set into the field. This is important because back then the flaw of the deck is if your opponent can outgrind you and you have no more Elixirs or Golden Land, you're gonna lose because you can't grind anymore. But with this, even if your deck has no Elixirs or no Golden Land, you can use this every turn to pay 800 life points to set back these from the banish pile, so you can just grind and grind and grind and grind. And also this being summoned as. That's why the reason I play 2, because you have one you can go for the grind, the other one you can go for the tokens as a body as well, so you can use this to attack through some things, and also for XCs, whichever you want is fine, because you wanted the bodies, and also this is an disruption as well. If this card is special summon, if you add addition on the field, you bounce a monster from the hand. It is still considered I would say, an interruptions. So that's why it is good. It's only the rare, so yeah. And floodgates, I only play these. I'm not playing Gozens and there can be only one because it's gonna kill yourself. Gozen is not really that good. Nowadays decks are all same attributes except for Rizos. So I'm not gonna play this. The current below one is even bad because you need these to survive, and you activate those, it's gonna get yourself like bricks until certain levels. So that's why. And triple solemns because I respect people having AoEs and you prevent extend even more. Yes, you're using your life points as the, I would say, as the gambling part of the deck, but you still needed this. Also, cutting half life point is better than Solemn Strike in this deck, because Solemn Strike is like you deduct a certain number, but with this, if even like how many times you use the 800 life points to buy, even if you left like few hundred life points, you get to use this. If you draw Strike, you're not gonna be using this, because not the one thing about different with Judgment and Strike in the Eldlich deck is because you already have this. We already have these kind of things to help you like prevent monster effects from going even further. So you want some things like that prevent that is not monster effects, like special summons, condition summons, spell trap removals, etc. You need, so that's why I play the Solemn is better in my opinion, or could be wrong. And more army negatives. This is the new card from the addition from the Alliance inside, and that is Dragon Mind. If you control a monster that its original attack and defense is, or attack is 2500, it's an omni negate, you negate the spell trap and monster effects and it negate destroys. So your Eldlich fulfills the conditions, and also something in your extra decks also fulfills the conditions. And when this card is in your graveyards, and you can pay 2500 life points and set this card back to the field. If you didn't draw, if you're not drawing this, you have this, it's fine. And also if you feel that this is a break, you might want to think again, because if you have this, you can send this and then you have summon back, effect, pay 2500 life points, set it back, they free nominate negates. Yes, your life point still deducts, your life points that sticks, but it's better than losing the game on the spot, so that's why I play 2. And I'm playing 3 because it's once per turn, so yeah. And the next up is another floodgate. Summon limits, I forgot to mention, this card is stupid, so yeah. And the last card, really not a big fan of it, but I'm still trying, like, is the Dominus Wrath, I believe it's called. You can activate this card from the hand, you negate a monster effect on the field. If you have a trap on the graveyard, you can search for Dominus traps and add it to your hand. Since I'm not playing any Dominus traps, so I'm not gonna search, I just want to negate. And also if you activate this card from the hand, until the next end phase, you cannot activate monster effects from hand, field. You cannot activate monster effect from hand, grave, and banish piles. Which really not that matter, because if you play correctly, you won't be using Eldritch effects to summon from the grave that often, especially if you have this already. If your opponent is like, okay, they saw you summon Border, they're gonna infirm you and do their stuff. So if you use this to negate their monster effects, and if they can't kill the Border, next turn Border is gonna be live again, so they gotta have a hard time dealing with it. And also if you have ways to get to your Sanguines, and then you have the new elixirs, you can use Sanguine, summon the Golden Lord, and then during the next end phase, Sanguine's effects, banish, set a golden land, and then these effects, and then this pay 800 line points, set back that particular Sanguine, you still gotta get another golden land, the Golden Lord on the field, so you won't be worrying about using monster effects after this, so it won't be using that much either. And also it says hand, grave, or banish. It doesn't say monster on the field. So if you go for link plays, XC's play, you can still go for the effects, it's fine. It didn't lock from the field, that's why I feel like this is worth a try. And that's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards, won't be more than that. For the extra decks is, in my opinion, not that important. Only a few, so it's kind of a bit like mixed here and here. And also the sleeve I haven't changed yet because I haven't found the correct sleeve for the extra deck, so I'm be using replacements. It's gonna be the spiders because you use a lot of the summons from the field spells. You wanted to link away your Conquistador Haquero to make them live in the graveyard to set. So you need spiders. SP, just in case. And this one is the special one is the Blighting Mary, I believe it's called. And if you guys don't know what this card does, this is an absolute god card in this deck. It requires 2 undead monsters, and once per turn you can target one banish level or level 5 zombie from banish or graveyard. If you do, this card is put in the back row as a continuous spell, as well as summon that card. So what I mentioned about just now is that if your Golden Lord gets called by the grave or gets bestials, it doesn't matter because you have this to bring it back. And also, yes, you get called by it, you have no effects anymore, but you wanted the body on the field, that's why you have this. And also, it's a second effect as well. If this guy is treated as a continuous spell, if you have a level 5 or higher zombie monster on the field, you may target that monster to activate this effects. If you do, destroy one monster your opponent's control that attack is lower than the target's monster. So when this card is in your back row, it's a free continuous spell. It's a free removal. So your target, your Golden Lord, is always gonna be 2005. So every time you get a free destroy a 2005 or lower or attack lower monsters. So if Eldlich is summoned back from the hand by its own effect, it becomes a 3500. So you destroy a free monsters of 3500 attack or less, which is something that this deck probably can't deal with, which is Blue Eyes. You get the free pop the Blue Eyes, free back roll, and if you feel like this is already used enough, you can use this effect to send it to the graveyard, add to hand, special. It treats this as continuous spell, so that's why I played 2 for the grind games. And also, this is surprisingly good in my opinion. Better than last time we have Link 2, so don't know what the Link is, the better one. And another one is the Top Hats. This searches your Conquistador or Haquero, and also it can searches these because it's still specimen as a continuous trap monsters. And also this hardly gonna be destroyed by battle, so opponent's gonna use card effect to remove it. And if a monster is special summoned from the back row as monsters, you get the free pop the back row, which is also interruption, which is really good. That's why I played this. This is really good, by the way. It's not even that expensive, you know what I mean? Because it's like 2 effect monsters. How hard can it be? People be like, oh, you don't have a lot of monsters. If you go to Link Summon, it's gonna be super costly, super expensive resources for the deck. No, you have a lot of monsters, trust me. Your back rows are also your monsters. So that's all for the links. The synchros, I play 2 Chaos Angels because your Haquero, Conquistador are level 5. The token successful by the field spell is also level 5, so you can get this alive. This is a big body for removal as well. And the fusions, I only play 1/1. I couldn't find more because they are sold out for some reason. I should have bought them earlier, but maybe that's my mistakes there. And for these new cards, what it does is it requires a Eldlich and 1 undead monsters. So you doesn't really need to use the fusion spells. If you have Eldlich or Golden Lord, and you can tribute 1 light zombie monster to someone from the extra decks, you can only use this for the effect once per turn. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can summon 1 Eldlich from deck, extra deck, or graveyards. So you can use condition summon to summon this. And when this card is sent to the graveyards, by link it away, by destroy, whichever, you can summon this. And it's probably better to link this to use it right away because this doesn't have the word Eldlich, so you can't tribute this to someone else. So yeah. And this is Eldlich, so if this card dies, you can bring this come back to life, and it's humongous on the field. So you have this, you basically have 50% chance. You only have 50% chance to like maybe lose that momentum. So yeah, only 1/1. And the others are the flex spot, play the Palladius and M7 for the package, and for burn for game Gustav Max, because you're easier to make monsters on the field. You're easier to make body count, so that's why I play this. Unlike previously, you played 3 because you have extravagance. So now you have 3, not just extravagance, you potentially can make like 2 to 3 times, because you have Eldlich, you have this, where is it? You have this, so you have more body counts to make these. And for the side decks is the most, I believe this is the first time I ever made a deck. That side deck is so much easier in my opinion, because you're a stun deck and also you are an interactional stun deck. So the side decks are Lava Golem, Furuwaros, Purulia, and Nyaru. Nyaru can be maxis if you want, but I don't mind. I just wanted to play this because any kind of occasion, you can let them full combo. You can use this or use this. If they full combo, you use the Lava Golems to make them go away. And Bot Breakers, draw. Because people will be assuming that you don't have hand traps, that's why I play this. It's a more impactful hand trap, except for Ash. You can replace one of the two for maxis, it's fine, it's almost the same reasons. And the new cards from Alliance Insights as well, the Schneider. What Schneider does is, beginning of the main phase 1, you can activate this effect by targeting any face-up cards on the field. If you do, you can banish 1 card from hand or 6 cards from the extra deck face down for each card targets. If you do, bounce them to the hand. And this card cannot be negated, neither effects or activation. So if you activate this, you can like target 2 cards, you're banishing 6 to 12 extra deck cards and bounce them to the hand. Especially against Orcus, you target the Babel and they can't use the Crescendo. You bounce back the Babel, you only have to worry about the Crescendo. Everything in their graveyard is not gonna be moving for quite some times. And also, it cannot be negated. And against Eldlich, I don't think people will side deck Lancia against Eldlich because you don't banish that much. And so this is practically gonna be live. And for more board breakers, of course, we play the evenly match, because sometimes this is just not enough. You need more, clear as much as possible. And the last card I play is, this is gonna be a new thing, and that is I play the Dark Cross because it's a zombie type and also it's a level 10. If you guys don't know what this card does, if this card is sent from deck to the graveyard, you may activate this effect by you activate this effect. This is not a you may activate this effect, it's a compulsory effect you must activate. So you have ways to send this card like the few spells, etc. Or just the few spells, or a reason being they declare level 10 and somehow this card just poop in the graveyard. And you can activate this effect, and your opponents cannot respond it with monster effects. So it means your opponents feel like the Appaloosa, Detonator, or like the Occult Talker, Terahertz, everything, they are not allowed to respond. If they have call by, then they have call by. But post side, I don't think they will be skipping the call by because you, like for one niche situations, in my opinion, and you can activate these effects. If you do, send all cards from your field to the graveyard, then special summon this card. And then for each card you send that numbers of opponent's card from field to the graveyard. So you can, like, if you have all of like these that are live, you can even like have this, and you have these, you set all of them to the field, and then you activate this. If your opponents let it pass, you send this, and this effect's gonna be triggers. You send all of these to the graveyard, special summon this, and you send total 4 cards your opponents control to the graveyard. And the opponent cannot use monster effect to resolve. This is a 1 sentence, so if you resolve, it resolves. And then don't worry about these cards sent to the graveyard because these are live, these are live, this is live, this is live. And also, if this card is sent to the graveyard other than from the decks, you can discard a card. If you do, send 1 card from field to the graveyard. And also, it doesn't target, and it's a big body. It's a level 10. You can even make level 10 plays with this. It's not a small body as well. That's why I play this. It caught people off guard. So I kind of like the ideas of having this because your opponent has no way to deal with it if they don't have the call by or whatever, unless they have pulse. That's all it is. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile of Eldlich. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is gonna be my go-to deck if I wanted to test with certain peoples. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys got any suggestions or idea for the deck or how to use the floodgates and so, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.